Okay, so I'd like to start out by showing you this picture of something from Cimarron, New Mexico. It's called the Tooth of Time. Does anyone venture to guess why they call it the Tooth of Time? Right, because it looks like an asparagus. Now, the Tooth of Time is an igneous intrusion of dacite porphyry formed originally on the third day of creation about 6,000 years ago. Today, hey, happy birthday, Tooth of Time! Then, of course, it was radically rearranged into this position during the flood about 4,400 years ago. Now, during the pioneer days of the Old West, when people were peddling their wares along the Santa Fe Trail, they would come along to this point and they would see the Tooth of Time on the horizon. And once they could see that, they knew that they were about a week to 10 days away from Santa Fe. Very handy. It's shaped like a tooth, it served as a landmark of time and distance, and it's made of dacite porphyry. But unfortunately, most people take it for granite.
Oh!
But it's not. It's dacite porphyry. But speaking of granite, here's an interesting thing you probably didn't know. Granite is the only rock that exists that we can't physically make. Like, science can produce anything, even diamonds. But granite? No. Why? Because it's very unique. You see, one of the properties contained in granite are these little microscopic halos produced by polonium. Now, polonium-218 has a half-life of about 3 minutes, which means that within the limits of certainly less than an hour after the granite came into existence, there would be no polonium left in the rock. But there is. So in order for the polonium to be encapsulated inside the rock, it would have had to have been solid, definitely within the limits of less than an hour, which is off of the millions of years speculation by just a little bit. You know, this hot molten lava cooled over millions and millions of years doesn't work. Now you have to ask yourself, why? Why is polonium-218 encapsulated inside of the granite? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because God's Word is true. And He has revealed to us in His Word that everything was created only about 6,000 years ago. And on the third day of that creation, God said, "Let the dry land appear." And it did. God's Word is true. Imagine that.